Amy, where are you from, and would you like to ask a question?
Yes, I would. I'm from New York City, and I'd like to know their thoughts on plain non-fat yogurt.
I eat plain non-fat yogurt from oat milk. I can say the name brand if you want, and it's very low in fat and no added sugar, and I think it's delicious with my berries in the morning and some hemp or chia. So, when Dr. Ornish did his famous reversal studies, he actually allowed his patients to eat non-fat dairy. Now in 2023, we don't have to eat non-fat dairy. We can eat non-fat oat, or I don't like coconut sourced, but there's other sources as an option. And he still achieved fairly remarkable results. But so I wouldn't put it on a never touch basis.
How about the dairy, though? Non-fat dairy, is that okay?
So personally, in my practice, I don't recommend any dairy for anybody. 60% of my patients are cancer patients. And so we know like the stimulation of dairy and all animal protein stimulate IGF-1 and other aspects. But a recent study that came out from oncology just 2 years ago at the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine, the International Conference of Nutrition and Medicine in DC, the oncologist presented some data which was quite shocking. And particularly when we look at estrogen positive breast cancers in women and the increasing rate of that, is that 3 servings of dairy, which would be like just some scrambled eggs and cheese, a yogurt, which they actually mentioned, and then say like a piece of pizza or some kind of something else with cheese, and then 2 pats of butter have 40% estrogen and 60% progesterone of a birth control pill. So we have to look at all these kind of things that we're starting to see rises, and even people like, oh well, I'm eating cleaner, I'm eating this, I mean that, like cancer's on the rise, all these chronic diseases are on the rise. So we have to look at other environmental factors. And I just want to say, like, if your mother's not that, it's the mother's milk of the animal. So unless it's mother was a cow, I don't recommend. If your mother's not a sheep, then don't drink sheep milk. If your mother's not goat, then don't drink goat milk. I just don't think that after the age of 4 we should be drinking any other milk from any other animal, because biologically it's not really kind of the thing that our body needs.
And thank you, all of you, for a wonderful presentation. It's been very educational.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
David, would you like to ask a question, and where are you from?
Hi, hello. I'm from Framingham, Massachusetts. You all recommended DHA from algae oil, and I've heard that there is a risk of that this oil is very sensitive to oxidate, even more than fish oil. I would like to know what are your thoughts about this, about the risk of oxidation of the algae oil, and if there is any brand that you would recommend on this.
Well, I think I should comment on that, because I have my own brand of DHA oil, and I'll explain why I developed DHA years ago. And because these tests that were measuring omega-3 index were available 25 years ago, by the way. And so I've tested, but in any case, when I originally started taking care of this vegan population, who I saw very low omega-3s a few decades ago, with some neurologic deficits, I recommended they take, and they were staunch vegans. They didn't want to take fish oil. So I recommended the omega-3 fatty acids that were on the market, but some of them were complaining of burping and smelling and indigestion. So I had the oils analyzed, and I discovered that all the vegan omega-3 oil in the United States was manufactured by the same company. It was a monopoly that were made by the same company. So I went to the company and I tested them to see if there was rancidity in the oil and why and if it was to taste foul over time. And we studied it. We sent it out to independent labs to have rancidity scores made on the oils. And we found that after 6 months of being out of the refrigerator, the rancidity numbers started to rise, and they rose a little bit each month, so that when oils were on the marketplace sitting on the shelf for a year, they had more rancidity than ones that were just manufactured 3 months earlier. So I worked with the company to see, well, how can I get some for my patients and for my family that we can put in bottles that we can keep in the refrigerator so they don't go rancid. So I started out originally just getting it for myself and my family and my patients, and I didn't have any to market it or just to sell it. I just wanted to get a healthier oil that we kept. So we had the company pack us up with glass bottles, but I couldn't really get it at a price that was. I couldn't get it unless I bought it in larger amounts, and had it packaged. So you had to buy large amounts from the company. So then we started making it for sale for other people too. So that's how I originally started selling DHA oil, just because I wanted to put it in dark glass, keep it in a refrigerator. And then in our warehouse, we keep it in big giant commercial refrigerators. When people order it, they're getting it hasn't sat out of the refrigerator for 3 or 4 months. So yes, the possibility of oils, including fish oil and algae oil, to become rancid over months at room temperature gradually increases with time. So if you're buying a brand that's at room temperature, looking at the manufacturing date and getting that it wasn't manufactured a year ago, but maybe made 6 months ago or less, would probably be okay. Or obviously, this is I don't want to be pushing my own products here, but obviously I watch for this, and that's why I have that DHA oil that I recommend, because we watch the manufacturing date, we put it in glass, not plastic, and we keep it in a refrigerator until people order it.
Also, I'd like to comment that, most fish oil won't pass the test, no matter how much fancy marketing. Most of the fish oil is now becoming not from the fish or even the tuna, which was terrible, which had high toxins, but then now have PCBs, dioxins, and all sorts of other chemicals. But now they're also just, most of the fish oil will say fish oil concentrate or marine concentrate, which means that they just drudge the bottom of the ocean and they take everything in the fish nets and they actually process it, which then, remember, everything at the bottom of the ocean with the bottom feeders have a lot more toxins in there. They're not purifying, they're cleaning it. Most companies will do a batch test once a year. They're not doing it per bottle or per even batch testing. So yes, moving to a plant oil, even if there's a little bit of oxidation, will still always be safer and cleaner than a fish oil, no matter what any company says. Also, with the fish oil, although all of them will say Nordic or something in Norwegian and all, that's not where they actually fish the oil. That's just where the oil is sent to pre-processed. So all these photos of these nice pristine waters is just marketing. I was a consultant for a lot of these companies about 10, 15 years ago. And this came to my surprise, because I always thought, okay, when we go visit there should be all these fisheries and all this stuff like that. No, it's actually unsustainably fished off of other coasts of other countries. They just go there to process there.
Wow.
Dr. Pai, how would someone follow up with you as we conclude tonight's panel? If someone wants to follow up with you personally, get more information, speak to you again, how does someone stay in touch with you and get more information about what you do?
So you can go to sanjevani.net, SANJEVANI.net, and they can go ahead and book an appointment.
And are you available for personal?
Yeah, we do personal consultations in person, and we also do like health coaching or telemedicine. They can also call my office at 505-821-6300.
Okay, and if you click on our website under Dr. Pai, it'll take you to his website. Dr. Kahn, if someone wants to follow up with you, how do they get in touch with you? What do you offer?
Yeah, I'm in suburban Detroit, but I'm licensed in 25 other states and do a lot of telemedicine. I have a little bit of a waiting list, but I always take new patients. And drjoelkahn.com, DRJOELKAHN.com is a good central website.
Let's try that again, just so we could pull it up. Okay, so let's see. I think we got it now. Here, we got it.
Got it. drjoelkahn.com.
Okay, and if you,
there's a button for my clinic and then buttons for other things.
okay, and if you need to, on our website, just click on Dr. Kahn and it'll take you to his website. Dr. Furman, what do you offer? What programs, and how do we stay in touch with you?
Through my website at drfurman.com, I actually have the ability of people to join as a member, and that gives them, they could join at a level where it gives them the ability to communicate with me and directly by asking me questions in an Ask the Doctor forum. So it's a very inexpensive way people can stay connected to me if they wish to for my ongoing advice. And they could just join for a few months at a low fee and see if it's helpful to them. But as you know, I also take patients, but I also accept patients for long-term stays at my retreat in here in California. So people are staying a minimum of 30 days. So these people come and stay here for a month or 2 or 3 to get well, and then they're sent home with the knowledge to how to apply this to the rest of their life. And it's not for everybody, and it's certainly a lot more money than people would want to spend. Most people would want to spend, but it's for those people who need it. It's life-saving for these people who really need this kind of care. And so I feel very rewarded and able to have that service available to people.
I really appreciate all of you spending your lives and your time and your intelligence to find this information so we could come on a call, spend, an hour and get 50 years of brilliant information summarized. So for me, I love it. I feel very fortunate that I'm in this situation. I have access to you. It's harder than ever to get access. Doctors, you can't even get through to their offices. It's hard to get an appointment. So the fact that for free, we're getting to hear what you're saying and you're sharing it so generously, I appreciate it. We could unmute the mic so anyone else who wants to thank them can also thank them, but we all appreciate it. And want to thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Furman, Dr.
Thank you. You guys are wonderful.
I appreciate your time very, very much.
Thank you so much.